Armenians stage sabotage during OSCE monitoring. Azerbaijani army shoots down intruding drone. Georgian section of Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway presented. Azerbaijani filmmaker wins EBRD prize for documentary on renewable energy sources.
President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev has received a delegation led by Minister of Economic Affairs and Finance of the Islamic Republic of Iran Ali Tayyebnia. The head of state expressed confidence that the visit of the delegation would be successful and important in terms of defining prospects for further cooperation. President Ilham Aliyev noted that there were good opportunities for cooperation between the two countries in the economic sphere. The head of state recalled the visit of President of the Islamic Republic of Iran Hassan Rouhani to Azerbaijan and stressed the importance of a business forum held as a part of the visit. President Ilham Aliyev described ideas articulated at the forum as an expression of existing mutual interest in cooperation in the economic area. Minister Ali Tayyebnia conveyed greetings of President of the Islamic Republic of Iran Hassan Rouhani to the head of state. He noted that thanks to efforts of the Azerbaijani and Iranian presidents, the development of bilateral relations entered to a new stage. The Iranian minister said together with his Azerbaijani counterparts, he would spare no effort to contribute to further expansion of the bilateral ties in different fields. The head of state thanked President Hassan Rouhani for his greetings and asked Minister Ali Tayyebnia to communicate his greetings to the Iranian president.
Another monitoring has been held on the contact line of Azerbaijani and Armenian armed forces in accordance with the mandate of the personal representative of the OSCE chairman in office. The Armenian side again attempted to stage sabotage during the monitoring, which took place on the contact line near a village of the Gazakh region, according to Azerbaijan's defense ministry. Thus, in accordance with the agreement reached prior to the monitoring, the Armenians were to guide the field assistance of the OSCE envoy working on the opposite side of the contact line to the designated area, but they failed to direct them to the right coordinates, which caused a delay in holding the monitoring. After proper procedures were fulfilled, it was possible to conduct the monitoring. However, shortly before the monitoring drew to a close, Armenian armed forces violated the ceasefire, opening fire at the Azerbaijani positions several times in the vicinity of the area where the OSCE representatives were located. The Azerbaijani Defense Ministry reiterated that these provocative actions of the Armenian side, which ignores the norms and principles of international law, have now become systematic by heightening tension on the contact line every time it is failing to provide suitable conditions for the normal activity of international organizations and purposefully impedes the fulfillment of their designated tasks. In the meantime, Azerbaijan's Air Force destroyed a drone of the Armenian armed forces this afternoon. The UAV was flying over the positions of the Azerbaijani forces in a frontline area near the Aghdam district of Azerbaijan, the defense ministry said, noting that additional information would be provided regarding the incident.
The second trilateral meeting of the foreign ministers of Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan and Turkey, Ilham Mamediyarov, Rashid Meredov and Mevlut Çavuşoğlu was held in Ashgabat, the capital of Turkmenistan. During the meeting, the ministers praised the level of relations between the three countries and reached an agreement to hold a trilateral meeting of the presidents of Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan and Turkey. The parties also exchanged views on cooperation in the areas of economy, energy, transport and education, stressing the importance of holding regular working-level meetings for the enhancement of cooperation in these areas. The foreign ministers mulled cooperation and issues of mutual coordination. In his speech at the meeting, Mamediyarov noted the importance of the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway project in terms of the further development of transport infrastructure in the region. The minister emphasized the key importance of cooperation in the education sphere. Mamediyarov stressed the necessity of holding these kind of trilateral meetings on the background of the ongoing developments around the world, adding that it is greatly contributing to the further development of relations among Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan and Turkey. The meeting came to an end with the signing of a joint statement and the results of the second trilateral meeting of the Azerbaijani, Turkmen and Turkish foreign ministers.
Presentation of an electronic project entitled Armenian Vandalism, Azerbaijani Monuments in Captivity has been held at the Presidential Library. According to the director of the library, Mail Ahmedov, the electronic project has been developed in the Azerbaijani and English languages. The project includes photos reflecting over 200 of about 800 monuments located in the territories under Armenian occupation, with the exception of Western Azerbaijan, the present-day Armenia, their condition before and after the invasion, and the short characteristics. Ahmedov said these monuments have been classified based on the categories of local and nationwide significance, including architectural and archaeological monuments, historical architectural preserves, monumental and memorial monuments. A chapter of the project reflects the vandalism committed by Armenians against the national and cultural samples in Hocalı, Shusha, as well as Laçin, Kalbajar, Agdam, Fizuli, Gubadlı, Jabrail, Zengilan, Khojavend, Tartar and Gazakh regions in western Azerbaijan territory. Another section includes over 160 photos providing footage of the Armenian vandalism. Ahmedov noted that the facilities that belong to Azerbaijani cultural heritage have been destroyed with extreme cruelty. 12 museums, 6 art galleries, 9 palaces of historical importance were looted and burned down in the captured territories. 40,000 rare historical museum valuables and exhibits were plundered. 152 shrines, temples including 62 mosques in the occupied territories were subjected to the Armenian aggression. 4.6 million books and unmatched manuscripts have been destroyed in 927 libraries, which were destroyed and burned down. Damage worth more than $300 billion has been inflicted to the Azerbaijani economy as a result of the occupation of a part of Azerbaijan's territory by Armenian armed forces. According to Ahmedov, over 1,000 Azerbaijani residential areas, hundreds of historical and architectural monuments, caravanserais, mansions, mosques, and cemeteries have been demolished in the territory of present-day Armenia, which is a historical Azerbaijani territory, whereas 310 mosques were registered in the Yerevan Governorate in the early 20th century. Currently, there is only one mosque, the Blue Mosque, in the Armenian territory, which is partially safe and sound, and it is presented to foreign visitors as a Persian shrine. Ahmedov said that the materials collected as part of this project clearly demonstrate the true face of the Armenians who are trying to present themselves as a cultural nation to the world. The goal of the project is to convey relevant information to the world community, including with the use of internet resources.
Georgian Economy Minister Georgi Kvirikashvili and Azerbaijani Transport Minister Ziya Mammadov attended the presentation of the Georgian section of the Baku-Tbilisi Kars Railway and observed a test run of a train on Thursday. The presentation took place in Javaketi, Kartsaki. Marabde Kartsaki Railway Director Oleg Bichiashvili, Samske Javaketi Governor Akaki Machutadze and other officials attended the presentation. The Baku-Tbilisi Kars Railway is recognized as one of the most important projects implemented by Georgia, Turkey and Azerbaijan. Kvirikashvili and Mammadov reviewed the completed work and stressed the importance of the project and its prospects. Earlier on Wednesday, transport cooperation issues were discussed during a meeting of Georgian Prime Minister Irakli Garibashvili and Azerbaijani Transport Minister Ziya Mammadov. The sides discussed bilateral cooperation in the transport sector. They paid special attention to the Baku-Tbilisi Kars Railway project. The Baku-Tbilisi Kars Railway is being constructed on the basis of the Georgian Azerbaijani-Turkish interstate agreement. Azerbaijan has allocated a loan worth $775 million for construction of the Georgian section. SOFAS finances the project in accordance with the decree of the President of Azerbaijan on the implementation of the activities of the Baku-Tbilisi Kars project dated February 21, 2007. Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan and India show interest in this project. Peak capacity of the corridor will be 17 million tons of cargo. This figure will be at the level of 1 million passengers and 6.5 million tons of cargo at the initial stage.
Environmentalists from around the world are combating environmental challenges posing a threat to mankind. Solutions are being sought and new concepts developed. The main problems on the agenda include climate change, the global crisis of water resources, and also nuclear energy in particular. Experts believe the Metsamor nuclear power station in the south of Armenia could lead to a nuclear disaster, but despite repeated warnings of environmentalists, the power plant continues to operate. The power station has been in operation since 1977. Analysts believe that the facility poses a risk not only to Armenia itself, but also the entire South Caucasus region, as well as neighboring Iran and Turkey. After a devastating 1988 earthquake in Spitak, it was shut down. However, in 1995, its operation was resumed despite international outcry. Moreover, a second reactor was launched.
Metsamor nuclear power station has to be shut down because it doesn't only risks Armenia, it also risks neighboring countries and neighboring regions as well. But Armenia, in this case as well, pursues irresponsible policy, as is the case with Armenia's policy towards Azerbaijan and its policy of aggression and occupation of Azerbaijan.
Considering the seismic activeness of that region, operating the nuclear power plant in Metsamor poses a real threat even in case of constructing a reactor of a new type. Countries of the region have repeatedly raised this issue internationally. During the 6th meeting of the parties to the UN Convention on Environmental Impact Assessment, held last summer, the Azerbaijani delegation filed a lawsuit against Armenia due to the violation of the convention's clauses in the aftermath of the construction of a new block at the Metsamor facility. Participants of the meeting concluded that a violation had indeed taken place and issued a mandate to a relevant committee for oversight of the situation and conducting monitoring. The Armenian nuclear power station is the most obsolete in the world, and many organizations, including the IAEA, have long been urging its shutdown. The obsolete Metsamor power plant poses a serious risk to Turkey. The power station is located 16 kilometers away from the border with Turkey, uses old technologies, and may become an epicenter of a serious catastrophe. The biggest challenge in terms of safety is the location of the Metsamor facility, experts conclude. The power plant is located in a high mountainous area, and in case of an accident, there could be a shortage of water required for the cooling of the active section of the reactor. 2 accidents have already hit the facility throughout its operation. However, in case of a major accident, it could trigger an environmental disaster whose regional scale would be tantamount to the scope of the horrible Chernobyl nuclear disaster in Soviet Ukraine in 1986. First of all, the wind is westerly, and it could change to southwesterly one, and that also covers both Turkey and Iran, as well as Georgia and Azerbaijan, while Armenia itself would be in the center of this. The National Geographic magazine recently published an article covering the operation of the Metsamor power plant and issues of security. The author regarded it as one of the most hazardous nuclear facilities in the world. The system of protection installed at Metsamor has features that are similar to those of the Chernobyl power plant. The Metsamor facility has no protective covering, National Geographic concluded.
Gold trading is gaining momentum at the Baku Stock Exchange, said Head of Trade Division Talat Kalaev during an interview with our television channel. In 2014, the turnover of the Baku Stock Exchange margin trading derivatives amounted to more than $5 billion. Gold and silver are added to oil, a derivative financial instrument of exchange. In the near future, the Baku Stock Exchange also intends to initiate the first ever IPO in the history of Azerbaijan. According to information received from the exchange, the first company to issue securities in free circulation will be a company from the sphere of information technologies. I'd like to note that last year there was realized a large project on the issue of bonds of the Southern Gas Corridor Closed Joint Stock Company. This issue was denominated in US dollars. Hence, the issue was implemented in 4 tranches, and the total amount of the issue amounted to 1.9 billion manats. In 2014, the securities turnover of the Baku Stock Exchange amounted to more than $10 billion, while the total turnover of all derivative financial instruments more than $16 billion. It should be noted that the Baku Stock Exchange was established in 2000. The Southern Gas Corridor will contribute to regional energy security for our allies in Europe and Asia and help to strengthen our strategic partnership. Many of our allies are reliant upon natural gas supplies from a single nation or unstable regions. Ensuring our allies have access to an alternative and reliable source of energy will help improve geopolitical stability in the region, said Republican Congressman Michael Turner in his article published in Washington Times. Mr. Turner, a member of the Azerbaijan Congressional Caucus, also has frequently highlighted Azerbaijan's direct assistance to the United States since winning its independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. Azerbaijan has unequivocally joined the war against terrorism, become one of the few Muslim countries to openly support Israel, and given America a reliable intelligence and military ally. In a floor speech last May, commemorating the 96th anniversary of the country's founding, Mr. Turner praised Azerbaijan for its willingness to engage America and to spread its energy wealth across Europe to create stability in turbulent times. Azerbaijan continues to be an important partner with the United States in counter-terrorism efforts and initiatives to bolster energy security with strategic allies. With its vast resources of oil and gas, Azerbaijan is a key component to help our strategic allies in NATO and other European countries diversify their energy resources, he noted. The Shah Deniz field in Azerbaijan is one of the world's largest gas fields, with over 30 trillion cubic feet of recoverable gas. In a statement on the House floor, Mr. Turner explained why the pipeline project was more than an economic opportunity for the Caspian Sea region. Michael Turner has been one of the most cogent voices on Capitol Hill in educating his colleagues about the importance of Azerbaijan as a strategic U.S. ally. And as chairman of the U.S. delegation to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization Parliamentary Assembly, his voice is closely heeded. Mr. Turner, in 2013, paved the way for a bipartisan resolution putting the U.S. House of Representatives on record that it's in the U.S. national interest to support the Southern Gas Corridor, a pipeline project that would help send natural gas from Azerbaijan to key allies across Europe to lessen their energy dependence on Russia and other countries.
The British government said it doesn't recognize the so-called Nagorno-Karabakh Republic and its court. Baroness Annalay of St. John's, Minister of State of the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, made a remark in response to a question by Lord Kilclooney. According to a message from the European Azerbaijan Society, Lord Kilclooney's question was about the fate of the two Azerbaijani civilians, Shahbaz Guliyev and Dilga Maskarov, who were ambushed and captured by Armenian armed forces whilst trying to train the graves of their relatives in the occupied territories. The message read, as well as dismissing the separatist Nagorno-Karabakh Republic, Baroness Annalay also stated that the British government doesn't recognize the legal framework of the court proceedings in question. She also said the British government had raised the question of the two hostages with the International Committee of the Red Cross. Armenian Special Forces killed Azerbaijani citizen Hassan Hassanov and took hostage Shahbaz Guliyev and Dilga Maskarov in the Shaplar village of the occupied Kalbajar region on July 11th, while they were visiting the graves of their relatives. Following the so-called judicial process, Dilga Maskarov was sentenced to life imprisonment and Shahbaz Guliyev to 22 years in prison. Despite repeated calls by the international organizations and foreign countries on Armenia to return the captives back to their country, nothing has been made in this regard so far. After a determination of the route of the Turkish Stream gas pipeline, a healthy competition began between it and the Trans-Anatolian Gas Pipeline project, said the Minister of Energy and Natural Resources of Turkey, Taner Yildiz. Russia and Turkey agreed on the route of the Turkish Stream pipeline under the Black Sea. 660 kilometers of the new Turkish Stream pipeline will go through the old South Stream corridor, and a further 250 kilometers will head in the direction of the European part of Turkey. The four threads which make up the pipeline will have a capacity of 63 billion cubic meters. Gazprom said in a statement following Tuesday's meeting between CEO Alexey Miller and the Turkish Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Taner Yildiz. Russia will pay for the laying of the undersea pipeline, while the capacity within Turkish territory will be developed jointly. The participating shares will be discussed at further meetings. The Turkish government has appointed Botas as its representative company to run the project. Gazprom and Botas will prepare a joint plan for the implementation of the project project within a week. Earlier, Taner Yildiz said that Turkish stream will not become a rival for TANAP. During the talks in Turkey on December 1, 2014, Russian President Vladimir Putin talked about seizing the South Stream gas pipeline from Russia to Bulgaria. A new project was immediately initiated in the same volume of 63 billion cubic meters, designed for Turkey and consumers of the EU countries, capable to take the required volumes from the trading hub on the border between Turkey and the EU. Hussein Gulamov from Azerbaijan won the renewable energy category of the TVE Bio Movies 2014 competition for short films about the environment. The three winners of the TVE Bio Movies competition were each awarded a prize of $1,500. Gulamov, with his film Greed, was awarded the prize by EBRD head of external relations Anthony Williams at a ceremony at the London headquarters of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. The EBRD sponsors one of three categories, renewables, in which participants were invited to use creative and innovative ways to tell the story of renewable energy sources and their place in the world, the bank reported. A total of 225 proposals from 61 countries were entered the TV's annual short film competition this year. From these proposals, 9 finalist films were selected and commissioned to go into production before a public vote. The winner was the film with the most views on YouTube. Hussein's entry clocked up an impressive 31,700 views on YouTube, to beat Green Hub from Bulgaria and the Heartbeat of the Ocean from Chile and Mexico. The EBRD's Renewables Prize is part of the bank's broader involvement in sustainable energy. Sustainable energy investments now account for a third of the bank's annual financing, which totaled 8.9 billion euros last year. Since 2006, the EBRD has invested more than 15 billion euros on sustainable energy projects. The Azerbaijani delegation participates in the International Tourism Fair FITUR in Madrid, Spain. Azerbaijan's pavilion features the country's tourism potential, including must-see places, cultural historical monuments, hotels, and other places by the use of books, booklets, and CDs in the English language. FITUR, the International Tourism Fair, ranks as one of the chief tourism sector trade events in Spain. Organized at the Feria de Madrid, the show draws more than 200,000 visitors at each of its editions, a clear indication of the popularity of the event. Tour and travel agency services, hotels and resorts, coach facilities, and a host of other tourist destinations are showcased during the FITUR show, which is attended by over 10,000 professional exhibitors, hailing from as many as 166 different countries. A series of topical seminars and meeting sessions are also organized at the show, and eminent journalists from more than 59 nations are also present here. The exhibition and travel show is a fun and savvy way to plan next vacation, take advantage of exclusive travel discounts, and learn more about the world's current travel hotspots from the nearly 500 exhibitors representing more than 150 countries. The event consists of the International Tourism Forum to discuss issues on the development of the tourism industry, the International Business Meeting where international sellers and buyers gather for new business opportunities.